If you've ever had a best friend, this story is for you. Anthony Tutolo just wrapped up his high school wrestling career at the top. The late Catholic senior just made history this winter, a reason to celebrate. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the chance to celebrate with his best friend. His story makes Anthony Tutolo our Cuyahoga Community College student athlete with a future. Cuyahoga Community College, where futures begin. Anthony Tutolo vividly remembers the day he met Danny Parmertor. It was the first day of preschool, and they were 4 years old.
Danny's mom said the same thing to him, because my parents knew each other from, I think our brothers played baseball together, I believe. So I was like, okay, and I just walked up to him like, hi, and he said hi back, and I was like, do you have a PlayStation?
The two little boys bonded over video games and became best friends. Anthony became a pretty good wrestler, and Danny became his biggest fan.
For me to be his brother and his best friend, I felt like I always protected him, because I mean, he was littler than me and stuff, so I always felt like I had to protect him and everything, because I don't think he was ever going to be able to defend himself or hurt anyone.
They went to different high schools freshman year, but their bond remained strong. When Tutolo fell short of a state title, Parmertor was the one who picked him up. The next year, just before the state tournament, Anthony made a pledge to his best friend.
The next year when I made it, I looked at him and I was like, promise you, we were talking about it from like the past year and everything, and I told him, I was like, I promise you that I'll be at least a two-time state champ, if not more.
It was a bold prediction. Lake Catholic had never had a two-time state champ in wrestling. Nobody from Lake County had ever done it. Sadly, it was their last conversation. On Monday morning, February 27th, 2012, Danny Parmertor was killed in the shootings at Chardon High School.
I pulled out my phone for a second, and it was a long message from some random number, and it was just like, hey bud, you know, I love you, I hope you're all right, you know, Danny was the man, you know, go win that state title for him.
Wrestling was the last thing on his mind. His best friend was gone. But somehow, Anthony made his way to Columbus, made weight, and made it to the finals. Tutolo lost the match, but gained a sense of maturity.
The jump that he had to make and the responsibility I think that he took on of trying to really honor his friend was a lot to put on him at that time. He was probably, you know, 14, 15-year-old kid, but he's always been a responsible kid.
He's not going halfway. He's not there for part of the journey. He's not there to just do the minimum or do what's needed. He never aspires for the minimum. He is always the kid who's going to go way over and above, and that's just, I think it's hardwired to who he is, and it shows.
For his junior season, Anthony had special socks made with Danny's initials sewn in, and they worked. Tutolo captured his first state title, holding on for a 6-4 victory in the 126-pound finals. 1 year later, as a senior and with the same socks, Anthony defended his title, winning 6-2 in the championship match, making history and making good on his promise.
First thing I thought about though was that I did it, like I finally kept my promise, and getting that, like, it was just the last thing that we talked about, and to be able to do that for him was just amazing.
Tutolo will continue his wrestling career in the fall on scholarship at Kent State, one of the top programs in the country. And when he gets back into the circle, Anthony will always have an advantage.
Even when I wrestle now, like, I know when I get a feeling, and I just know he's watching over me like my guardian angel. So I feel like the roles of ours switched from me protecting him to, you know, he watches over me and protects me.